You've probably heard whispers.
Yep, been getting some attention.
So today on the deep dive, we're going beyond just the headlines. We've actually got the details right here. And our mission is really to unpack what this whole thing means for you.
Exactly. Because, seeing a catchy name is one thing, but understanding the actual mechanics and nuts and bolts is key.
Right.
We're going to dig into how this lottery is supposed to function based on the info we have.
Okay, let's start with that name then. Mates Visa Lottery. It sounds very Australian.
It does, doesn't it?
What should we read into that?
Well, using mates, it definitely suggests perhaps a friendlier, maybe more informal approach to immigration they're aiming for.
Okay.
And the lottery part is pretty clear. It signals a shift, maybe away from the usual skill-based selection towards, well, a system of chance.
So not the standard point system people might be familiar with. This sounds like a whole different ballgame.
Pretty much.
How is this lottery actually set up to work, according to what we've seen?
Okay, so at its heart, it seems to be a system where people wanting to immigrate to Australia would first enter into a pool, a lottery pool.
Right.
And from that group of entrants, a certain number are just randomly picked.
Randomly.
Yeah, randomly selected. And then those selected individuals get invited to actually start the formal visa application. Think of it like a first hurdle based purely on luck.
That definitely raises a big question. Who even gets to enter? Who can, throw their hat in the ring? Are there specific eligibility rules mentioned?
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. The details we have, they don't really specify clear criteria for just entering the lottery itself.
Oh, really?
No, it's kind of a gap, honestly. We don't know from this source if things like your age or your job or, language skills matter for getting into the initial draw.
Huh. That's quite a significant unknown then. What about the practical side, like the how? If someone was interested, what does the application process look like as far as we know?
Well, again, the specifics on how you'd actually apply to get into the lottery draw, they aren't really detailed here either. We know it's a lottery, so obviously there'd be some kind of registration or entry form. But the exact method, is it online? What info do you need right at the start? Are there fees? Those bits aren't in our source material.
Okay, so the who and the how for just getting into the lottery draw are a bit fuzzy based on this info. Let's flip it then. What's the potential upside for someone hoping to immigrate? If you were lucky, if your name got picked, what are the benefits?
I think the biggest potential benefit is simply getting a chance to pursue immigration to Australia that maybe wouldn't be open to you through the more traditional routes, like skilled migration or family visas.
Right.
So for people who don't quite fit those established boxes, this lottery could theoretically open a new door. It's based on chance, mind you, but still a door.
That does sound like it could be a big deal for some people. But what about the flip side? Are there limitations or potential drawbacks to this lottery approach that we should be thinking about?
Definitely. I mean, one inherent thing with any lottery is unpredictability, right? For the individual, there's just no guarantee. It doesn't matter what skills or background you have.
True.
And maybe from Australia's point of view, a lottery doesn't necessarily target specific economic needs or skill shortages like the dedicated skilled migration programs aim to do. It brings in that element of randomness.
Okay, so if we kind of boil it down, the Mateys Visa Lottery, as it's proposed here, is basically a system where you enter a draw hoping for the chance to then be invited to apply formally for Australian visa.
Exactly.
But the exact details on who qualifies to enter the draw and the specific steps to do so are, well, they're not clear from what we have in front of us.
That sums it up pretty well. The core idea is introducing chance, luck, as a major factor right at the start of the immigration pathway.
It certainly seems like a potential move away from a purely, say, merit-based system, at least for that initial selection phase.
Precisely, at least for getting your application looked at.
So as we wrap up this quick deep dive, it really leaves us with a question for you, the listener, to think about. What are the bigger implications of using a lottery for something as life-changing as immigration?
Yeah, it's worth considering.
Think about fairness, accessibility, the impact on people's lives, and on Australia itself. It definitely offers a different way of looking at how immigration could work. Thanks for exploring this with us.